Conflicts of interest is a complex area. Today I'm going to talk about the most common type we see at LIF, conflicts between the interests of a lawyer's current clients. Remember the starting point. A lawyer must not act or continue to act for a client where there is a conflict of interest except as permitted under the BC Code. Based on our years of experience, here are our top 3 recommendations. 1. Simply don't act for too many people in any matter. Lawyers end up acting for too many clients, usually because when they're first retained, the clients are on good terms and they want to save money by using one lawyer, you, and you want to make them happy. But sometimes this just doesn't work. Your ethical obligations include an undivided duty of loyalty to each client. A client's interests may be seriously prejudiced unless your judgment and ability to act for each of them are as free as possible from conflicts. We have seen many claims where lawyers have ended up in a conflict acting for too many clients. For example, by acting for both spouses, even more so where the spouses are in a second relationship with children from a first. Or lawyers acting for a privately held company and its principals, for the buyer and seller of a property, for children obtaining loans and parents providing security, or for more than one party in litigation, in each case where one of the results does not fit all. If you're going to act for more than one person, follow the joint retainer requirements of the Code, which require that you advise them of specific matters, and if all the parties are then content for you to act, obtain all of their consents. You should also review the Law Society's Model Conflict of Interest checklist. Even when all of your clients consent to a joint retainer, ask yourself, is this a good idea? Am I able to provide objective advice to each of them? Or will I find myself being swayed by the dominant client and not be able to maintain undivided loyalty to all of them? If you think the answer is yes, in some circumstances you may be able to refer one of them out with consent, otherwise you must withdraw. 2. Don't let a client act in a conflict. Does your client have more than one role in a matter that could create a conflict? Consider whether your client should be acting in all of these roles and whether you can represent them in those roles. A client in a conflict will be hard-pressed to provide instructions that you can effectively act on. A classic example is an executor making controversial decisions that also affect them personally, for example, as a beneficiary. You may need to advise your client to relinquish one of those conflicting roles. And 3, deal with emerging conflicts among clients. A litigator may be acting for several parties in litigation and then realize that the clients are not on the same page. Or a solicitor on a joint retainer finds out that the proposed transaction will benefit one client and disadvantage another. You should act immediately to handle an emerging conflict. Refer to the joint retainer letter, if you prepared one, and to the Code about what to do if a conflict among clients emerges. So, don't get caught with clients in a conflict. Take the time to think it through before you decide to act on a joint retainer, then proceed with caution and always refer to the BC Code.